I guess I have that gene with, I'm Ray. There's no quit on me. The day I quit is the day I'm no longer here on this earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Forward Progress with Paulo Salgueiro Jr. I'm your host, Paulo Salgueiro Jr., and today we are joined with none other than Ray Sucra Oliveira. Right?
Said it perfectly.
All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks for being on, Ray.
No problem, I appreciate it.
We're located. Right now we are in Bristol, Rhode Island at Bramwell Fitness,
Yep.
On Point Boxing.
There you go.
Cool. So Ray, our show. Many viewers already know, we talk about forward progress in life.
Yep.
We talk about how sports help everyday people in life, whether it become overcoming adversity, life lessons we're learning in sports that we probably don't learn in the classroom or anything like that. But for some of our viewers, can you just give us a little synopsis, a little bit? You know, you grew up in New Bedford,
Yes.
Local champion.
Secret City.
So tell us a little bit about kind of who Ray Oliveira is.
Ray Alvarez is second generation Cape Verdean from New Bedford, little old Potter Street. We call it the hood. Started boxing at 11 years old. Boxed amateur for 10 years, 300 amateur fights. Turned pro 15 years, 60 pro fights. Got in some trouble here and there, but boxing helped me get out of that and still helping me out through life to this day.
So tell us a little bit about growing up in New Bedford, like Cape Verdean background. I got the Portuguese background,
Yep.
So I'm curious, what was your upbringing like, you know, Ray growing up and then, you know, middle school, high school, stuff like that? What was Ray like?
Well, grew up with both parents, Luis, Ronaldo, Oliveira, great parents, couldn't have for no better. Loved them, you know, up and down, but they always taught me right from wrong. And I started boxing at 11. It was my mother, not my father. And like you was talking about football, how you like football. I used to always play football and always getting hurt. My mother was like, I'm done with this football. No more football, you're getting hurt. So my father said, how about boxing? I looked at him and said, no. Get more hurt than that. My mother said, yeah, your brother boxed. I had a brother who passed away recently, Ronaldo Oliveira. He was a boxer. His claim to fame was that he fought Vito Inferno. Mm-hmm. He fought Vito, went 10 rounds with him, lost, but great fight. And his name was Ronaldo Oliveira. So tried boxing and didn't like it for a year. Went to the New Bedford Boys Club in New Bedford. Father says, try it for a year. You don't like it, get out of it. Went there for a year, but I didn't really go in the gym. I was playing basketball. Yep. I said, hey, Dad, I tried it. I'm done. He goes, you think I'm stupid? You didn't even go in the gym not once. I said, but I don't like it. I don't want to get hit. He said, try it. My first fight, they were yelling my name. I said, man, we play football. They yell the team's name. Boxing, they yelling my name. Yeah, I'm staying with this one. So I tell my fighters, you always got to be selfish. And that's my selfish part. I want the crowd to yell for me or boo for me. Either way, they're rooting.
Was that, did you grow to become a fan of boxing, or was that like when you caught like your boxing bug? Was that moment?
I honestly became a fan. It's hard. Later in my career, later in my pro career, I did boxing because it made everyone else happy. It made my city happy. I really loved football. I loved just being a child, just being a kid. I went to boxing because it made my family, my neighborhood, family all happy. So I did it for them. It's weird because as long as I did it, as hard as I did it, did I do it for me? It's still a thing I'm fighting with. I don't know. I don't appreciate what I did in boxing. Fought for world titles, hold records, but I tell people I get more pleasure in changing a boxer's life, being part of their life. I have more fun doing that.
So would you say you like coaching better than being like the athlete?
I think everyone would say yes, I do. I had to stutter that because you love hearing the roar of the crowd. I liked it. I'm not going to say I didn't. That may be wrong. But I get more enjoyment in helping a young person succeed in life. Not just in the ring, but also in life. And I get boxers that come back and I see they're a great parent, great father, great provider for their family. That makes me even more happy.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I always like asking, do you remember the first time you got punched?
Yeah.
What went through your head? Like, what went through your mind?
I ran home. It was my best friend, Adi Mendes, who brought me to the Bedford Boys Club to start boxing. Because he was boxing, I think, a year or two before me. And we were sparring. He hit me with a body shot. Down I went. And out the door I went and ran home. I said, I'm done with this. I'm not doing this. Don't like this sport. My parents made me go back, and I'm happy they made me go back.
So that will to go back. So I think it's always important, like our upbringing in general. So how important was like your upbringing in terms of like molding your mentality, like in life in general?
I come from a big family, 12 brothers. I'm the 12th one, and 7 sisters. There's 19 of us. My family, my father, mother, my nieces, nephews, aunts, uncles, not quitters. They never quit anything. My father was an alcoholic. And when I turned, I think, 12 or 15, he stopped drinking. Just stopped. Said, I'm done. And we went to work every day. He was socialized, drunk. And I never heard my father swear, never hit me, never did nothing. But he always taught me to never quit, never give up anything. And boxing helped me at that. With other sports, football, baseball, basketball, whatever it is, it's a team sport. You don't want to quit, but you got to sit down. I believe you got to bring up the other team up. This one is, I think it's easy to talk someone to get your back, but in this sport, I gotta push myself to do something, to want something. It's funny that because when I retired, and I gave a speech, my retired speech, you always thank everyone else for helping you. On my retirement speech, I said I want to thank the person who got me up every day, who, when I had to lose weight, helped me lose weight. When I didn't want to go to the gym, made me go to the gym. When I wanted to stop sparring, made me push myself. The person who pushed me the most, that person is me. Thank you, Ray. And I dropped the mic. My manager's like, oh my God, there he goes. But we don't thank ourselves enough. Someone could push me and tell me do something. I could tell them no. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do it. But having that upbringing in my family, you got to push yourself. It's you. You know, everyone can push you to do something. We can lead a horse to water, but we can't make them drink. It's up to you. So I think boxing is a great sport for me that helped me realize that.
So one thing you mentioned growing up and through sports, you mentioned like that kind of no quit mentality, but I also think it goes like a lot of what you said too is like discipline in general. Can that be taught, or you got to be born with that?
It can be taught, but it's hard to teach someone who don't know it. That discipline got to start at the home first, and most, especially nowadays, how the younger generation, it may be sounding like the old man on the rocking chair, but I am the old man on the rocking chair, and I like to be the old man on the rocking chair, always complaining. But discipline was taught at home when I grew up, you know. It was yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Open the door for a young lady or someone older than you, no matter who it is. Discipline, you know, you got to have that in the gym. And nowadays, you're bringing some kids that, I got a bunch of children that come in from the hood, and they always tell the hood, I go, no matter where you're from, discipline is taught different ways. I tell them first, I'm going to respect you, but out of that, I want my respect back. You disrespect me, I'm going to disrespect you. I'm going to tell you leave. I have had plenty of athletes that I told, you can leave. Don't like what you said, don't like the way you are. And everyone's like, Ray, but you were like that. And my coach didn't go for that. And now I'm not.
Now, were you ever discouraged, like during boxing at all? Or like, Like you mentioned getting up, like some days, like let's say you're tired, you're this, you're that, and you're still training. Were there some days where you're just like, damn, do I still want to even do this today?
Every day.
So what made you keep going?
Everyone asks me that. Like, I guess I have that gene with. I'm ready. There's no quit on me. The day I quit, the day I'm no longer here on this earth. I just don't have that quit in me. I've seen it in my family. And I also, I hate saying my family don't quit. I have seen family members also quit. So sometimes you learn something from the bad ways and not want to be. I had a brother who was an addict. Like I said, my father was a drunk. I had family members who were addicts also, alcohol, drugs, and I call them they're quitters. I called me a quitter one time, not one time, a bunch of times in my life. I've been to prison for hitting a woman. That's a quitter. And that's what I was back then. But judge me on the end, don't judge me in the beginning, and that's quitting. So I don't have that quitting into me, and I'm trying to teach not just my boxer, but any person around me. Don't quit. It's easy to quit.
Yeah.
You can just say I quit. And that's it. Trying something and doing it. Do it to your best ability. You don't have to be here. If you get there, hey, that's your ability. Be happy with that. We always want to overachieve.
Yeah.
That's good, but be happy with here. Settle for here. Stop trying to be a millionaire. Be a thousandaire.
Yeah. When you have, like you mentioned, the adversity growing up, right? Whether it's lockup or stuff like you've dealt with your family, did it ever like put an impact on you, like growing up in terms of like, everyone talks like mental health and stuff like that. But I know as athletes, sometimes we might, like, I'm fine, I'm good, or whatever. And you just take it out through our sport. Did you ever, like, as an athlete, like, think about stuff like that, or is it kind of like zoning everything out and kind of doing your thing, or?
As a younger person, we were talking about earlier, you don't quit. So when you lose a match or a football game, baseball game, you zone it out, you let it go. And you always teach, an athlete to do that. I tell my athletes, get angry. Don't show it. Don't let somebody see you be angry that you lost. When you get home and you're in the room by yourself, think about it then. Show that anger to them when no one's around. Hit the wall, take a walk, do whatever it is. Think about what you was wrong about and then correct it. Don't get over it, because that's a lesson in life. A loss is only a loss if you didn't learn nothing from it. If you learned something from it, it's a lesson in life. And that's what, not just boxing, but all sports teach you that. Nowadays, we got athletes who are like soccer. The young kids don't keep score.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Or we want to give the bench person a trophy. Why? We're all winners. No, you a loser, I'm a winner. I'm not telling you that you're going to lose in life, but accept that you came in second or third, and next time want to do better. When we give trophies to everybody, they're not striving to be the best they can be. Maybe their best they can be is second. They should be happy with that. But want to be first, you're going to be first in something else.
Yeah.
You may not be first in football or boxing, but you may be first in baseball or tennis or golf.
One thing I'm curious about, if you could talk to your younger self, like
Yep.
your 11-year-old self, 12-year-old self, what would you tell them if you could have a conversation with them?
Never been asked that. I don't know. There's a lot I would tell myself, and there's a lot I would then say,
Yeah.
No, I like my failures in life because they only made me better. Mm-hmm. I remember when I signed to fight Oscar De La Hoya for $1.5 million, and the very next day I went to prison. Got out, got 5 wins in a row, signed the contract again to fight Oscar De La Hoya. Went back to prison again the next day. And then I always get asked that question, Ray, are you mad that you didn't make that $1 million? I go, am I dead yet? No. I said, that $1 million is still out there.
Yeah.
That $1 million may be the millions of people I changed in life. It doesn't have to be cash. It could be something else. So would I tell myself what I would tell myself? Be happy. I am happy what I achieved. I don't know.
The reason I ask is this. We were talking a little bit before we started about life experience.
Yes.
And it's interesting because it's one of my favorite questions to ask.
Yeah.
Because I also like to think like, man, what would I tell myself? I'm like, having the life experience now, like, do I let that kid learn those lessons? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta learn those because it's gonna mold you.
Yes.
Or give him some type of advice. Maybe deal with this way. Maybe deal with that way. That's the only reason I ask is because I feel
it's a great question.
you have so much life experience, overcame so much adversity, and still doing your thing with that no quit mentality. And so that's why I was always curious.
No, because I've been shot. I've been stabbed, not just in prison. My life
Yeah.
is a real roller coaster. And would I take away anything? No. My brother, Joey, taught me, don't be ashamed of your falls. And I am, and I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you all the time, I told you, I'm an open book. Sometimes people say, Ray, you tell people too much. Shut your mouth. But I'm maybe embarrassed of something I did in my life, but I'm not ashamed of it because, like I said, my time here isn't done. So judge me on my time when I'm done.
And I think it's probably just me trying to think as you're talking about it. You're not letting how you got knocked down define you.
Yeah.
It's how you're getting back up from
Yes.
that adversity.
Yes.
And I think, first of all, that's admirable. Absolutely. I'm curious, like you mentioned the lockup and stuff like that, especially like signing contracts and whatnot. Like, what was like your thought, like that night when you get like locked up? Like, what goes through your mind that day?
I was angry. I wanted to. We walked in court. Everyone knew who I was, of course, special treatment. I told the DA, look, I'll give you 20 grand. But all we want is 3 grand. And, I said, do what you want with the rest. I'm giving you some money. I ain't doing no time. I got a fight coming. I got to go in the gym. Went in front of the judge, and I forgot her name, but I remember I love her for what she did. Got in front of her. She said, Mr. Oliveira, Mr. Pretty Boy, the big famous boxer. I see he gave you 30 days, but to not do 30 days, you're in the final. She says, nah, you're doing a year. I looked at the DA, man, we made a deal here. What do you mean I'm doing a year? They handcuffed me, brought me downstairs. They kept me in the cell by myself. I was angry for a month in that prison. Like, this judge gave me a year. And after a month, I thought to myself, I said, no, I gave myself a year. She taught me something. And I went for my GED in prison, and we had to write an essay. And I wrote on her. I wrote that at first, I was angry that she gave me this. I was angry at society, angry at everyone, the court system. They did this to me, and I realized, no, I did this. I'm the one that did what I did. I'm the one that got to court. I did this, not her. What she did was teach me a lesson. My time ain't done. I could get out of prison and go after that $1 million again. I got out. Went back into it again. So it took me not once, a couple of times. Went to prison 3 times, I believe. I didn't learn until my 3rd time. No. It's me that has to change. You can always blame everyone else, but you can't change them. But if you blame yourself, you can change you. So that's how I look at life now, though. Don't blame anybody. Blame myself, because because I can only change me. I can't change them.
That sense of accountability, is that from your upbringing or things you learned in sports?
My dad.
Your dad?
My dad, can't get the correct words he said. I'm getting emotional right now. But he always took accountability for him being an alcoholic. He was a perfect dad. That's the railroad tracks. No, it isn't. Just by watching him, he didn't say it, but by watching him, he always took on. He never went to AA. He went, I mean, but he said, you know what? They're stopping me from drinking. I'm not stopping drinking because I shouldn't stop drinking because I have used children and my wife and family. I should stop drinking for me in order to help use. And when he said that rang something in my head. I could change for you. Am I really changing for me? So if I change for me, it helps the people around me. So that's how I look at life. I got to change me.
Yeah, you have to want that help for yourself.
Yes. Yeah, because like I said, all boxers, I'm a bipolar manic depressive. I think all us athletes are the sport. I mean, how do you get in the ring, try to beat up each other, or a football field, try to hit each other, and then after that game, good game, we'll do it again. You crazy? It takes a mentality for someone who wants to go in that ring and really try to hurt someone. Go home and then go back and do it again.
Yeah, it's sportsmanship. I think they could do research just on sportsmanship in general. Like what goes through people's heads to make me like, oh yeah, good shot to the face.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You know?
But I wanted to mention a couple things. You had, it was 300 amateur fights, right?
Yes.
Over 300.
300.
That, right?
I lost.
Give or take.
Yeah,
300.
give or take.
So, how many years was that in a span?
10 years.
10 years. Now, I'm curious because I feel like I know you spoke about this before in different interviews and stuff like that. The transition from amateur to pro varies so much now as then, or athlete to athlete. At any point when you did 300, were you like, damn, I just want to go, like 300 of them? Like, did you ever go through your head like, I just want to go now? What am I waiting for?
I didn't know that I went 300 until I turned pro and someone asked me. I was like, I don't know. We fought all the time. I don't know how many fights I had. Honestly, I just threw that number out because I probably had 200. Probably not 300. I just say 300. I go, look, I fought all the time, with my era. Now boxing's starting to be like that. There's fights. I just looked. I love amateur boxing. Love it. Love the pros. Hate training them. I always tell people I don't want to train pros unless one of my amateurs want to turn pros. But amateurs, I love amateurs. And having 300 amateur bouts, I always tell people 300 bouts, and they go, that's a lot. How many times do you think I spied? That's even more crazier.
Was it, in terms of your transition from amateur to pro, was it more focusing on like your skills, or were you ready like already a while in there, or were you like, I'm not ready yet, or like what was that transition for you? Like when did you realize, okay, I can go pro now, I'm ready to go pro?
The thing I hate when boxers say is, I got a pro style, I should go pro. And I tell fighters this all the time, when someone says you got a pro style, you should go pro, that means you suck. If you're winning, you feel, I was supposed to go pro when I was 19. I lived in Vegas with Freddie Roach. I got sent to Vegas. The reason I got sent to Vegas, I was getting in trouble in Massachusetts. I was ready to do some big jail time. And my coach said, we gotta get this kid away. So my coach was friends with Freddie and his mother, sent me to Vegas. I was supposed to turn pro, had a fight lined up. Fight fell through. Freddie goes, hey, Golden Gloves next week. So can I enter it? He goes, yeah. So I entered the Golden Gloves. Won that year, went to Nationals and everything. And I didn't like Vegas because I don't like hot weather. I'm a cold weather person. New England.
Yeah.
I said, I'm coming back home. Came back home. Everyone thought I was going to turn pro that year. Didn't want to. Stood amateur again. I was in the Nationals in Miami, and I said, hey, even if you lose, you stay there all week. I said, if I lose the first day, can I trade my ticket in? They go, what do you mean? I said, if I lose the first week, do I have to stay the whole week? They said, no, you trade your ticket, go back home. I said, all right. Went out there, lost on purpose, traded my ticket, and flew back home, said I'm turning pro. People go, what made you feel like that? I felt like I was ready to go pro. See, them 2 years, I could have went pro 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. There's too much things in my life. That year, I knew I wanted to go pro. So I went pro. You get that feeling when you want to go pro. A lot of fighters ask me, Coach, when am I ready to go pro? I go, oh no, you tell me. Don't ask me. If you're asking me, you don't know that. You should be able to say, Coach, I'm ready to go pro. Now it's up to me to go yeah or no. If I say no, it's no. If you want to go pro, go somebody else. Like I got one fighter right now, police officer, David Marshall, who's going to be going pro in May. He said, Coach, he got 12 amateur fights. He keeps getting concussions. So he's a police officer. I goes, Coach, I want one pro fight. Can I do it? I was waiting for you to ask me. Yeah, we'll do one and done. He goes, all right, that's what I want to do. So he's going to be fighting in May. One and done. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Then I had fighters who, Coach, I'm ready to go pro. I go, you ain't won an amateur fight. You think you're going to win a pro fight? Well, you know, I could work. I said, I'm not one of those guys that buy opponents. You go pro with somebody else. I have told fighters that. They went somewhere else, and they hated me for it. They were angry at me. And then when they retired their career, they came back and said, thank you, Coach. I said, you ain't got to thank me. It's learning lessons. Yeah. My door was always open, never closed. Only you can close it. I'm a barnyard. It opens or closes. It's up to you to lock that door.
A couple of things I want to talk about in terms of your boxing. So you have multiple records of punches thrown. I think I saw it once. It was you have the most in one round, 265 punches.
Yep.
In round 8.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first question, just being funny, what did your cardio look like? Your cardio training, or was that genetics?
I think it was genetics because I never ran.
Yeah.
Everyone always said, you must have ran a lot. I said, hell no, I hate running. It's not that I couldn't run. It's just that when I ran, I'm from New Bedford. So whenever I ran in New Bedford and Fall River, cops kept pulling me over. Ray, what you running from? I'm not running from nothing. Get ready for a fight.
Yeah.
Plus I got shot on my knee. So every time I ran, my knee blew up. I just hated running. So what I like to do is jump rope. So I would jump rope an hour straight without messing up. Now I would put the clock on. We had old big clocks. Put the 1 hour, 60 minutes. I would jump rope. If I messed up, restart the clock. Jump rope. 30 minutes, messed up, restart the clock. I did that until I got capable of going for an hour straight.
Wow.
So I would jump rope an hour straight. I would ride my bike from Fairhaven to Fall River. I didn't like to run. But when I was in the gym, I did other stuff. I would crazy, just non-stop punching on the bag, non-stop punching on pads. I pushed myself where my cardio was out. And I think it was genetics plus that, because even now I don't do no kind of workout. I go in the bag and I have shown people I keep punching for a whole 30 minutes without stopping. I think that's me just stupid not wanting to stop.
Well, it's interesting because like having that record is impressive, but the fact that it's in round 8.
Yeah.
So it's you got
and in my 30s.
In your 30s, and so it's like you got almost more. I don't know if productive is the right word, but almost more. You're putting in more work even in the later rounds.
Yep.
Did you feel like when that happens, right? When you're throwing 265, are you, like, does that cross your mind? Like, I'm lighting this guy up today, or I'm throwing. Do you think about like how many punches you're throwing, or are you just out there doing your thing?
I'm just out there doing my thing. What I thought was this: nobody wants to get hit. So I tell my fighters, if you're hitting, hopefully they're not throwing punches.
Yeah.
They're covering up. I don't want you to throw as many as me because it didn't get me nowhere but hurt body. But, you know, why wait? You should be always throwing something every 3 seconds. Put a jab out there. Put a right hand out there. Put a feint out there. Every 3 seconds you want something done. I call it touching hands. You see boxers. They're both touching. They're both touching hands. Like, what is that? What are you touching hands for? You scared or something? Yeah, you're scared, but you're touching hands. Stop playing patty cake and hit that person. So I just was scared, and I always said to myself, if I'm throwing punches, maybe they're not.
Yeah. Well, because I watched some of your fights, obviously, but I'm curious because I want to see if I'm right in this. Who did you like as a boxer? Like, who did you watch?
Oh, Sugar Leonard.
I knew it. As I was watching, I'm like, I have to ask myself. In my head, I'm like, he's got to be a Sugar Ray Leonard fan.
But I didn't want to be him.
Yeah.
I wanted to be better than him. My thing was always this, what do you want your child to be? Like you or better than you?
Sure.
Better than you. So it wasn't disrespect when I told people I loved Marvin, loved Hearns, loved Duran, loved Sugar Ray Leonard. I wanted to be like them, but I also wanted to be better than them. Mm-hmm. So I always told my fighters, you know, I didn't want to be one person. I picked that from this person, that for this person. You pick and choose what great things people got and be better than them. But Sugar Ray Leonard was I did meet him once, and it was weird how I met him at Foxwoods. I walked by him, he goes, "Hey, Ray." I kept walking. Walked by him again. "Hey, Ray." Kept walking. Third time, "Hey, Ray." I kept walking. He went up to my manager, my promoter, Jimmy Burford. Burford comes to me and goes, "Sugar's trying to talk to you. You said it's your idol. Why don't you talk to him?" I said, "That's why, because he's my idol. I don't want to talk to him." And to this day, I never talked to him. No, I don't want to. He's my idol.
Well, it's interesting because like I feel like that's like the story of. I feel like I forget where I saw it, but I heard someone say, not to meet your idol, because like if it's a bad experience, then you're gonna be like, "I wish I never," like it might ruin that for them. You know what I mean? Like if you meet someone.
I talked to his son.
Yeah.
A couple of times because we're both Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I talked to his son. I told I can't. I'll probably cry. I mean, I'm very emotional for a boxer. My father taught me never hold your feelings, and I usually cry too much. I cried before every fight. Mm-hmm. Mike Tyson the same thing. Yeah. I think of all the doubters. I couldn't do this. I'm gonna end up in prison. I did it, got out though. I'm still continue. I'm a failure. I can't. He ain't gonna be world champion. He ain't gonna fight for nothing. And I cried walking it. As I walked through them ropes, I said, I'm gonna prove them all wrong now. See, I wanted to think about that as I walked down that aisle. And as soon as I get in there, I did something they couldn't do. Walked into the ring.
And you mentioned being in championships, attaining championships. In your eyes, what's it take to become a champion?
You gotta be selfish. You gotta be grateful. You gotta be willing to throw yourself at things. And they're gonna be thrown back. It's a little bit of negative, positive, everything. People always talk about the good things to be champion. Nah, you gotta be, like Puffy said, more money, more problems. You know, to be a champion, not just to be a champion, but going to a championship fight, it takes a lot of everything. You need your family, your friends, the media, the good, the bad of it, them writing bad about you. You need that person who bullied you in school, the person that helped you in school, that great teacher, that bad teacher, the good cop, the bad cop. You need all that. You need experiences in life to be a champion. Because, you know, you got to take the bad with the good, if that makes any sense.
Were you ever nervous? And how did you deal with nerves?
Oh, yeah.
How do you deal with that?
You wake up every day nervous. You know, every day I tell my fighters, not just fighters, people in life, I'm scared in life. But there's two types of scared. There's that scared that runs away and never knew what they were capable of doing. Then there's that scared that runs forward and realizes what they're capable of. A lion is scared, and what they do, they attack. A fox is scared. What they do, they attack. When a thief comes and tries to rob something at you, you think, and you either, I'm gonna give what you want, but I'm gonna leave here safe, or I'm gonna attack and get rid of you. You just gotta do a little bit of both, you know?
It's that fight or flight response.
Yeah, exactly. If you run away, you never know. So nervousness, I say nervousness is being scared. Nobody wants to use that word. Mm-hmm. Scared. I use, the one word I use a lot, that people hate it, is jealous. Yeah. I love you. I tell you I'm jealous all the time. It's just how I react. I show my jealousness. You know, you got all your hair, I'm jealous. I got none. But hey, I had hair.
Yeah, that's funny. So I always mention to people that I feel like we learn a lot in the adversity we face, the losses we've had, whether it be boxing or everyday life. Like, what are some of the life lessons you learned through some of the losses that you've had to deal with?
I got 11 losses, 47 wins, 2 draws, 22 knockouts. I remember every loss. I don't remember none of my wins. And the reasons I remember my losses is because they were lessons. I could tell you my first loss. It was in New Jersey, Trump Plaza, and I beat the butt out of the guy. Dropped him in the first round, chased him the rest of the 9 rounds, got in the middle of the ring. The kid was like, yo, you whooped my butt. You're gonna go on. The referee said, great fight, man, great fight. And the winner, now I'm in the blue corner, in the red corner. What? Lost that fight. I remember it, but it was a lesson I learned. The lesson I learned was, don't leave anything in nobody's hands. Did I do enough for that fight? Accept the loss, accept life lessons, learn from it, and do better the next time. Life is not done until you're gone off this earth. So the life lesson I learned in boxing is that, you know, no matter I got 11 losses, and I remember that, I learned from it. They're not losses, because I learned from it. So all the times I went to prison, all the times one time I got shot, all the time I got stabbed, life lessons. What made me do that? What can I do better to not let it happen again? And that's what boxing taught me. If I got a loss, took the loss, it was my loss, wasn't my coach, wasn't the referee, wasn't the judges, it was me who lost, and I'm gonna go to the gym the next day, and I'm gonna train better and harder, that way I don't get another loss. And the same thing in life. If I lose a job, I did something in that job to lose that job, the next job, I'm gonna be better at it. I'm gonna learn from that. If I lose a girlfriend, I lost that girlfriend. I did something wrong to not make her happy. I gotta do better for the next. Good thing I got the great woman now, not losing her.
Do you have a favorite memory in boxing?
A lot of memories. Then a lot of memories I don't have. I've been boxing so long. I always been in my life where I got a bad memory. Mm-hmm. A bad memory. The greatest memory I got in boxing was my Ricky Hatton. And I always put it on Facebook. I always put the picture. And the picture is me on one knee and the referee counting and me smiling. And the referee got a smile on his face. And everyone goes, Ray, why do you put that picture up? I said, I was 35 years old. That guy was 25 years old. It was Ricky Hatton. I went down on my own because my ears were busted. I looked at the referee, he goes, Ray, you getting up? I said, no, continue counting, I'm done. Mm-hmm. I chose to be done. I chose to walk out of that. I gave all I can. And that's my greatest moment right there. And he goes, but you lost. I go, no, I didn't. I got to places nobody else did. Me and Ricky Hatton sold Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people. And at the end of the fight, they asked me before the fight, there's 80,000 people, you're in London. They're going to be cheering against you. I said, yep. So what you going to do? I said, so there's 80,000, we're going 12 rounds. My math ain't good, I told him. So every round I'm going to get 10,000 on my side. So I guess I'm going to have 120. So I don't know, everyone's going to be cheering for me. When I walked out that ring after the 9th round, and I'm walking down the aisle, everyone stood up and gave me a hand of applause. That's my greatest moment. That I didn't lose. I grabbed respect of all those 80,000 people in London. So I didn't lose.
If you didn't have boxing, what do you think you would have wanted to go into, or what would have gone into?
Interior decorating. Kind of weird a boxer do interior. I grew up with 7 sisters. All my brothers were out the house. My sister, I'm a mommy's boy. My mother, we grew up in New England. Every season, we changed our curtains, we changed our furniture, we changed our windows, put the screen in, take the screen out. And I always helped my mother. I was the baby boy. I loved it to this day. If my girl leaves me in the house by myself for 2 hours, she'll come back and the house has changed. She's like, I did it yesterday. She came home, she's like, you changed the whole house in 1 hour. I go, left me home too long. I would change everything. I love it. Would I be good at it? I think I would be. I mean, I would change anybody's house, even if we didn't like it. I'm doing it my way. I don't care.
That's awesome. So I want to make sure I can give shout outs too for you. So you're doing coaching now.
Yep.
And so if someone's interested, so let me talk first about that. Like, did you know you always wanted to coach or no?
No. Everyone else knew.
Yeah.
I remember being in the gym training, not training, but I'll be sparring with. When I had a fight coming up, my coach told people, you don't want to spy Ray when he had the fight. I don't care who you are, underweight, first time you get in the ring. I even couldn't do an interview, like the interview inside the ring. Mm-hmm. I had a reporter one time, we're going to be in the ring and I'm going to throw a punch. I looked at her, my coach said, no, you Ray got a fight coming up, you don't want to do that. If he didn't have a fight, nicest guy in the world. Once I get a fight, my hands on that boom, everybody's like, you're gonna coach. I'm like, hell no. When I'm done with boxing, I'm out of it. I don't like boxing, I only do it to make sure I'm out of this. And everybody used to say, you're gonna end up coaching. We could tell by the way you always wanna help somebody do something. You're always watching everybody. I'm like, I'm just nosy. They're doing it wrong, they're stupid, so I don't wanna coach. And then when I retired, I didn't realize I was coaching until 2 years later. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't even come to the gym to train. I come to the gym now to train people. I didn't even know I was doing that until 2 years later.
Do you like coaching more?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Love it. I don't gotta sweat. I even to this day, I don't hit a bag. I don't jump rope. I don't hit the speed bag. I see some boxers, we always talk about this, they'll be in line and they shallow box. Not me. I don't talk boxing. I don't want to watch boxing. I only do boxing when I'm in the gym. When I'm home, let's talk about the Cowboys.
So if someone wanted to, what can they expect to have Ray Oliveira as their coach? If someone's looking to get a coach to learn some boxing.
I'm old school. I had 4 coaches. 2 of them were my main trainers, Bucky Vincent and Libby Medeiros. Bucky Vincent from Bedford Boys Club, Libby Medeiros from the PAL. And if anyone hears what I'm about to say, I say it. I don't say I say it out of respect. I say it out of disrespect. But that's how I feel. I don't believe they love me. Everyone goes, but they did. They talk well about you. They talk well about me to use, not to me. When I first won the world title against Tracy Spearn, my coach, Bucky Vince, wasn't in my corner. I went to his house, and he said, I said, you may not have been in my corner for this fight, but you was in my heart and here without what you taught me as an amateur, there was no Ray Oliveira fight for his world title. This belt was for you also. And he brought me in the house and said, I'm going to show you what you did wrong in the fight. I sat there the whole time watching the video. And it was a 12-round fight against Tracy Spann, who's knocking out everybody. And I ended up stopping him in the 8th or 9th round. And I'm sitting there watching the fight, and he's pointing out every little mistake I did. And I'm saying to myself, he couldn't just say, you did a great job, congratulations. And then my other trainer, Libby, talks great to me to everyone else. But when we had the argument one time, and it went bad. And I got very emotional. And everything I did with you, you allow these people to talk about me. We've been to World Championship, we traveled the world. I paid you. Never missed a check. And you let these people talk bad about me, you know the real Ray Oliveira. Let them talk bad about me and tell them, well, that ain't how I see Ray. But you talk good to everyone else, but not me. And that's the lesson I learned on them. They taught me good, how to be a great coach. But the lessons is, tell a fighter not just they're bad, tell them the good they also do. I may be in the gym and tell my fighter, this is what you do wrong, this is what we gotta correct, this is what we gotta correct, not you. We gotta correct, this is what I gotta help you do correct. And then I tell them, this is also what you do correct. I tell my fighter after a fight when they win, I did this wrong, that wrong. No. Stay on the positive.
Yeah.
When we get in the gym, then we'll work on what we could do better. Not what you did wrong, what we could do better. So what kind of coach I am is, I'll tell you the truth, good and bad. I kiss my boxers before every fight. I make them look me in the eyes, I grab them. The referees even know that. They go, Ray got to do his thing. I grab them, kiss them on the forehead, I love you. Might be the last time you see me. It is a dangerous sport. I'm a hard trainer. I criticize, I break you down, I pick you up. I pick you up, I break you down. I give you both. And I never will leave your side because you're not in the ring no more. My on-point boxing, we don't call ourselves a team. We call ourselves a family. So when people come and go, I want to join your team, they go, we're not a team. We're a family. So you want to be part of our family.
Absolutely. Couple more questions, I'll let you go, Ray.
Yep, no problem.
What, in your opinion, what makes a good athlete?
I've been thinking that all day. Someone that listens. Some people are talented, some of them not. Muhammad Ali, very talented. Rocky Marciano was talented, but wasn't as talented as Muhammad Ali. But he did what he did correctly and improved on what little things he could do. So being an athlete is, do what you do right. If you're a boxer, don't try to be a slugger. If you're a slugger, don't try to be a boxer. Do what you do well and improve on that. So what makes a great athlete? Someone who listens and take the good with the bad and the bad with the good. Just don't be able to, I just want to hear all the good. Sometimes you're going to hear the bad parts. You don't want to hear all the bad parts. Sometimes you got to say the good parts. So I believe that's what makes a good athlete. It's that someone who listens and takes criticism.
Ray, I want to do a quick rapid round, kind of like fun questions,
Okay.
And then we'll finish with our nice trademark question we always do. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of boxers? Greatest of all time.
Oh, Sugar Ray, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Ray Oliveira.
Did you ever like the heavyweights or no? Not so much? Or was it more style that you went for when you watched boxing? Yeah?
Yeah. Let's be for real. Heavyweights were always a king. But who do we always mostly watch? 140 to 154. There wasn't one person. It was always 5 to 6 boxers you always wanted to watch. With the heavyweights, it was one guy beating up everybody.
Do you have a favorite boxing match?
Of watching someone?
Yeah, watching, yeah.
Oh. All Sugar Ray Leonards. And Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler. The 3 rounds. The greatest 3 rounds ever.
What, because I know you're a big fan of Sugar Ray Leonard. What makes Sugar Ray Leonard so great?
How he was outside the ring. Everyone loves athletes of what they do in the sport. I love that. But I also love the pop, how they were outside the ring. Leonard was always smiling. I never saw him unsmile. And it's not just the athlete. Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, it's the coaches I looked at. All the football coaches for the Cowboys, Tom Landry, all the coaches for the Celtics, Suits, Respectful, baseball, how the coaches, even me when I pro fights, I would invest in a tie in the corner. The amateur bouts, I may come in with a sweatsuit, but I'm always neat and clean because I think I'm also telling my fighters, look, it's eyes, how you present yourself. You got to present yourself first. They see that, then they're willing to look and see what kind of style, what kind of boxer you are.
All right, Mount Rushmore. If you could train with anyone, let's say when you were an athlete, who would you want to train with if you could train with anybody?
Another athlete or a coach?
Either or.
Either or. Oh, I would love that train with Sugar Ray, of course. Well, the 4 Kings. Any one of them, I'd love to be in the gym with them and train with them. And to be my coach, Eddie Fudge. I met him one time.
Yeah.
I disrespected him. I didn't mean to. It was me and I was in Vegas with Freddie Roach at the Gold Glove gym, and he came up to me and was giving me pointers. I looked at Freddie and said, "Who's this old man? Get him away from me." And the whole gym went quiet, and Freddie looked at me and goes, "Who's your favorite coach you said you like?" I said, "Ed." "Oh, that's Eddie Fudge." I'm like, "Sir, I am so sorry." He goes, "No, I like that you like no one come up to you, but next time, realize who you're talking to before you say something." I go, "I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to."
And a little bit different. Favorite, because I know we've talked a little bit Cape Verde and Portuguese. What's your favorite food? Favorite meal? Ray Oliveira's favorite meal?
I'm weird. Any kind of fast food.
Fast food, yeah.
I had, before every fight, right before the fight, I had to have a Happy Meal. And everyone's like, "What?" I go, "Listen, Pete, I got 60 pro fights, 47 wins, 11 losses, 2 draws. For every win, I had a Happy Meal. For every loss, I didn't have a Happy Meal." And because it made me feel like a child again. It relaxed me. I went, got my Happy Meal, told the lady, "Don't look at my toy. No one looks at my toy." We'll walk in with a Happy Meal into the back room. Like, what is he doing? Put my soda, I didn't drink it though, the soda. Put my cheeseburger out, fries, and sat there like a kid and played with my toy.
Yeah.
And it relaxed me. So before every fight, I wanted a Happy Meal.
That's awesome. Favorite part of training?
Jump roping.
Jump roping? Yeah.
Love the jump rope. I don't do it no more. But when I was training, it was jump roping. Love the jump rope.
Favorite sports movie?
When I make mine.
I like that. That's good.
When I do mine.
And one question I had getting here is, I'm always curious. Sucra, how did the it means sugar, right?
Yes.
How does Ray get the nickname Sucra?
Everyone thinks it was because I like Sugar Ray Leonard. No, I didn't like Sugar Ray Leonard until I started boxing. I got the name Sugar, just plain sugar, because I used to always put sugar in my cornflakes, like 10 scoops. And then when I got older, I have coffee, I'll put 10 scoops of sugar in my coffee, so my family always called me Sugar, because I like sugar. So when I started boxing, I turned pro. My first 4 fights, it was Sugar Ray. And I remember first time on TV, I got his face, but I forget his name, the ring announcer. He goes, oh, what's your name? I said, Sugar. He goes, oh, another kid wants to be Sugar related. And it hit me, it hurt. I went home, I said, Dad, Mom, the ring announcer didn't like my name. Said I wanted to be Sugar Ray. I like Sugar Ray, but I don't want to be him. So my mother said, change it to Stingray. I said, hell no, I'm not changing to Stingray. There's a Stingray, he sucks. I'll whoop his butt. I don't like Stingray. So I said, Dad, you speak 7 languages. How do you say sugar in every language? So it's either Sucra or Sucra, and then some people call Suc, which means punch. I said, well, I like Suc, but it's punch. So I said, how we say it in Cape Verde? In Portuguese, was like Sucra. I said, that's what I'm gonna change my name to. And I tell people all the time, some people go, hey, Sugar. I go, don't call me Sugar. It's Sucra. Well, it's the same thing. I go, no. If you Google Sugar Ray, you get every Sugar Ray there is. If you Google Sucra Ray, you only get one, me. So I'm Sucra Ray, like the way you said it.
I like that because it shows, at least in my view, it shows like you cared about where you came from.
Yes.
You know, and so I feel like does it mean a lot? Look, I don't want to assume anything. I'm assuming, but though, did it mean a lot to you? Like, where
it
you
means
came
a
from?
whole lot to me. That's why, again, like when people say sugar, I'm like, ugh, my heritage is Sucra. I am Cape Verdean. I am Portuguese. I'm Sucra. Because when I fought, those people were in the audience, Portuguese and Cape Verdean. I was proud to be who I am. Everyone's proud to be American. I'm proud to be American. My father fought in World War II. My grandfather fought in World War I. My brothers and nieces and nephews fought in all the wars we had except the Civil War. So I'm proud to be American, but I'm also proud to be Cape Verdean.
Love that. So Ray, if you were talking to any athlete, coach, any person watching this video right now and could talk to them, in order for them to make forward progress in life, how can they do that?
You're gonna fall in life. Don't always think someone's gonna throw a rope in there. Someone's gonna throw a rope, but if you don't grab it and they don't pull, you're not getting out of that hole. It takes 2 things: you to want help and people to want to give help. So, don't be afraid to ask for help and don't be afraid to give help to someone else. That's forward progress. Giving back. Boxing gave me a lot, and I believe right now I'm giving back to boxing. Get a lot of boxers who complain about boxing. I ask them, what are you doing? Well, give back. Help train a kid. Or go to a gym and give advice to a kid. Or become a referee or a judge. Not just in our sport, but in all sports. Give back. Give back to life. Just to always take.
Absolutely. Sucra Ray Oliveira, thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it too.
Thank you.